Hello, friends, and welcome to this new episode of the Pallavi Kashyap podcast. So, in this podcast, I'm going to talk about breathing. I'm also going to add a few more episodes after this episode to continue and to add on to the same subject. But in particular, in this episode, I'm going to talk about the right way to breathe. So, there are different types of breathing that we know of. I'm not going to talk about the different breathing techniques that we do for different purposes, which may relate to yoga, but that is not the subject here. It is just about plain breathing, and how we breathe is what I will cover in this episode. So you must have heard of abdominal breathing or belly breathing. So that is the right way to breathe. There's also another term or another definition, something also called as chest breathing. So chest breathing is not the right way to breathe. The right way to breathe is belly breathing, or also called as abdominal breathing. Now, what happens in abdominal breathing is if you keep your hand on your belly, and when you inhale, you will slightly feel the belly a little bit bulging out when you breathe in, when you inhale, and the same when you exhale, you'll feel the belly going in. So that you will, I mean, if you when you're normally breathing, you will not feel it. But if you want to exactly know if you are breathing in the right way, then this is what you need to do. Like, you keep your hand on your belly and breathe and see whether when you inhale you should feel the little bit of bulge out when you breathe in. So let me explain you the process. How it happens is, the lungs, when we inhale, the lungs get inflated, and when we exhale, the lungs obviously pushes out the used up or the air with toxins in it. So when we inhale, what happens is, there is I think it's called an organ, diaphragm. So what happens is, when we inhale, when we do the right way of abdominal breathing is, when we inhale, we take in oxygen, and the chest expands. Because of this expansion, it actually pushes the diaphragm little bit lower, and that movement kind of gives you that bulging out of the belly. So it's a very slight movement actually, but that is the right kind of breathing. And about diaphragm is like in the shape of a dome, in the front part, and that supports, or that's kind of the division, or how do I say, the division where, so above the diaphragm is your are your lungs, and below that you have all your intestines and the uh, digestive process, everything that comes under the diaphragm. Likewise, this what I explained was the inhalation process, and the exhalation process is when you exhale. The diaphragm, when you inhale, it kind of contracts, because the when you're inhaling, the lungs take in the air and it becomes big, and that pushes the diaphragm down. Now when you're releasing, or when you're exhaling, so the diaphragm now kind of relaxes, and that when it goes up, it kind of pushes the lungs a little higher, and that movement releases the that's the exhalation process. Now what happens, I'll just explain it to you in 4 steps. So one, when we inhale, during inhalation, what I explained, I'll just just kind of summarize and also add a few bit more information. So when we inhale, during inhalation, like I said, our diaphragm contracts so that the lungs can expand in the lower lobes, the lower part of the lungs, in the extra space, and let in as much as air as is necessary. So this is the inhalation part. So what happens in the diaphragm is, there's a contraction, like I already explained. The diaphragm and abdominal muscles pull down on the abdominal cavity to fully inflate the lungs. So this movement, because of the belly rises a bit. Now the next is the diaphragm contraction. So as the diaphragm contracts, the diaphragm relaxes. When it relaxes, it enlarges. So when the diaphragm relaxes, it kind of enlarges. Before it was compressed, it was contracting. Now it is relaxing, and when it relaxes, it enlarges, causing a decrease in the lung size, thus forcing air out, which is the exhalation. And as the diaphragm contracts, the volume of the cavity increases, creating a negative pressure there, which draws air into the lungs. So this is a little bit about the right way to inhale and exhale. Mostly we shift to this is how actually we are born to breathe. If you see an infant, if you observe an infant sleeping, you'll see you can if you have a baby, or if you have a baby around, you can check this. You will see that when they are sleeping, you'll see very clearly their belly, the movement of their belly while they are sleeping, and that is the right way and the natural way for us to breathe. We were born to breathe like that. We move from a belly breathing to a chest breathing when we have stress, when we are angry, when we have extreme emotions. So when we have extreme emotions, the breathing pattern changes, and when the breathing pattern changes, the abdominal breathing is more or less like you inhale fully and you exhale fully. But when the breathing pattern changes, when there's some stress, so during that time you're not inhaling fully or exhaling fully, and in that time any emotion that is triggering some kind of a physical change in you, the first effect happens in the heart, rather in the breathing pattern. So the breathing becomes very shallow, and and you tend to breathe very fast, and that's not the and if that happens to us, we must have that awareness to okay, so we went to that state where we are a little away from the normal self, or our normal being. So what we need to do is we need to come back to normal again. So mostly what I'm sure we all have heard, when somebody is very angry or somebody is scared, the first at least to me it's happened. Many people tell me, okay, just take deeper breaths, just take do some 10 breathing which are like very deep, and just relax. So the first thing people tell you, or anybody who's intelligent enough or who has the wisdom to tell you what to do, they will suggest first deep breathing. So that is how you can come back to your normal breathing, because otherwise it takes some time for you to return to your normal breathing cycle. So in such times, if you have this kind of a pattern, then start taking deep breaths, and try to do it for some time till you normalize. What happens during such a condition is that the life energy, which is also called prana in Sanskrit, the life energy is consumed at a faster rate when we are angry or pissed off or irritated, or there's some kind of fear, or any of those extreme emotions. A lot of prana is getting consumed from your stock of daily prana. So you need to replenish, you need to refill what has been consumed, because for a day, like there is let's say we have 100%, like we are like a battery. So we refilled or recharged ourselves during our sleep in the night, and we have 100% battery for the whole day. and the activities that you do or that we do will be enough, that battery will sustain us for the day. But during an extreme event like like any extreme situations, the rate of prana consumption is higher. So in such cases, you need to consciously refill your battery or your tank and try to come back to normal, and that is only possible through deep breaths. So that was what I wanted to share with you today. A little extra about diaphragm. I just googled. Diaphragm is a dome shaped muscle, which I also explained, which separates our chest and the abdomen. So yeah, that's what I explained earlier. So this breathing is the right way to breathe. I do have a blog on my website, www.pallavikashyap.com. So you can go to the blog section, and there I have an article on belly breathing, abdominal breathing. So if you have the time, you can just go and check it out. I'll also try to upload a YouTube video on the same, and share the link here as well under description. So yeah, that was about belly breathing in short. So let me know if you enjoyed listening to this episode, and what are the things I can add further to enhance these podcasts. Do let me know, and you can also find me on Instagram. I'm more frequently available on Instagram. You can DM me there, or you can also write to me at my email ID is connect@pallavikashyap.com with your queries. And what else? I'll come up with few more episodes on breath, related to breath work, and I'll also share the practices that I do, or the type of breathing additional to our normal breathing, breathe in, breathe out. What are the other breathing practices that I do to keep myself healthy? So I'll share that in the coming episodes. So till then, I also actually wanted to add, I'm adding this episode because I recently did an IGTV live with another friend of mine, and there we were discussing about breathing process, breath work, that we are breathing, but we don't even know that we are breathing. Like we're just not conscious about it. So in that we had discussed something about breathing and the right way to breathe. So I thought I'll add it also in my podcast. So yeah. So till we meet again, wherever you're listening to this podcast from, good morning, good evening, and good night. Thank you till we meet again.